This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Tim Gordon. This morning on Sunrise, big changes could be coming to the library in Beaverton. Why the city could cut staff and hours. Plus, why a Milwaukee police officer faces criminal charges this morning. But before we get to all that, let's check in with Chris McGinnis for a look at our warm forecast.
Warm. How about record heat, right? Record highs yesterday, and I think there's a pretty good chance we're going to set 2 more records this weekend. So it's going to be, for sure, a hot Mother's Day weekend. We'll take you right now to the Oregon coast. That is pretty. That is just really super pretty here from the Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Our camera pointed towards Cascade Head. We've got a little bit of low cloudiness or some fog there, and of course the sun breaking through that above, right? The sun is breaking up over the Cascades right now. There's the live look from Stoller Vineyard, the silhouette of Mount Hood off in the distance, and one more check here of our Wells Fargo sky camera. There it is in all its glory, and that sunshine is going to warm us up quickly today. It's already 58 at PDX, 50 in King City, 54 Hillsboro. And there are some cool pockets out there. Right now, Tillamook, one of them at 46, but Astoria is 55. Offshore flow will increase throughout the day today and especially tomorrow, leading for heat, intense heat across western Oregon and Washington. There's a heat advisory in effect for most of western Oregon and Washington through the weekend. Right now, we are mild and we're going to get downright hot this afternoon. 85 by lunchtime. I've got forecast highs up around 95 today and probably back in the lower to middle 90s tomorrow. Tim, there is a chance for some thunderstorms in our 7-day forecast. That might take the edge off the heat early next week. We'll look at that in just a few minutes. All
right, hot. Thanks, Chris. Well, despite this early dose of summer, water throughout our area and lakes and rivers is still really cold. Friday, authorities say 4 people ran into trouble swimming near Tolovana Beach on the coast. 2 people were able to get out on their own. Firefighters rescued a third, but the 4th person, they say, was never found. Alma McCarty talked to first responders, whose word this weekend is caution.
We are in for a hot one, so it's no surprise some kicked off their weekend on the river.
The Clackamas from High Rocks down to the mouth will be pretty busy with people.
I'm just amazed that people are really out doing it today, and you can imagine what it's going to be next 3 days. Yeah, this place will be packed.
I drove out here, so nice out. I laid in the sun.
I was like, how could I not on a day like this?
Rachel Tolliver couldn't let the sunshine go to waste.
I went into work, it was a regular day, and I decided to take a half day because the weather's so nice. I was like, you know what? I can't be cooped up in this office all day. I'm not going to do it.
At High Rocks, firefighter Dusty Mock says due to snowmelt, the water is deeper and the current faster than it typically is during the summer.
Current's moving pretty quick. It's pretty pushy, so it is a lot harder to swim in than if you're used to coming out here in the summertime.
The firefighters tell me 2 things to keep in mind if you plan on visiting this weekend. First, there are no lifeguards on duty. They don't start until Memorial Day. And second, the water is really cold.
As soon as you jump in, they call it cold water shock. Your body has an initial reaction to take a big gasp. So if you jump in and you're underwater and you take that big gasp, usually you can go right to the bottom.
He says it only takes a few minutes to get too cold to move around effectively. Many swimmers Friday felt that firsthand.
Very cold, almost shocking. Like, it took the breath out of me when I jumped in, but at the same time, it's really nice and refreshing, especially like to get out and then be able to lay in the sun, just air dry, you know.
Downriver in Canby, dozens stayed cool with a beer or cider at a sold-out brew fest.
It's sold out tonight and tomorrow night.
A first-of-its-kind event at the fairgrounds, according to Raylene Kmeyer.
I didn't think we'd get this. I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, there was over 800 tickets sold. And I mean, I thought, oh my gosh, please, somebody please come. And they came.
Plenty of space indoors provided a break from the sun, but many ventured back outside, enjoying the end of the first day of this heat wave. In Clackamas County, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
And of course, stay with us this weekend for continuing coverage. You can find the latest forecasts and updates on air on KGW.com and on our social media pages, and also the KGW app. Well, a Milwaukee police officer faces criminal charges for alleged official misconduct on the job. Court documents say Officer David McVeigh had sex while on duty back in 2019. The documents didn't specify any further details. The Milwaukee Police Department says as soon as they learned about the incident, they turned it over to the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office to investigate. McVeigh was fired from the department in March. Well, a quick traffic alert in southeast Portland this morning. Friday, a sinkhole opened up on southeast Yamhill Street at 76th Avenue. This is in front of Ascension Catholic Church in the Mount Tabor neighborhood. PBOT tells us while it looks pretty small from the surface, the hole is actually about 10 feet deep and it could get bigger. Yamhill is closed between 75th and 76th, but before crews got there, neighbors say they put out buckets and bins to help warn drivers. You see them there.
It went from 6 inches at 2:30, and you see what it is now. I mean, it's a crater, and it took an hour and a half, but I think the buses pounding on it didn't help.
Now, PBOT says they're investigating the extent of the damage, and crews will be out working on that this weekend. TriMet also says bus line 15 will not be stopping between Southeast 60th and 76th until further notice. Well, it's a place people count on to borrow books, do research, and ask for assistance. And now the city of Beaverton is looking to pull back on both library staff and hours. Catherine Cook explains why.
It feels like a slap in the face to them.
Adam Korst is heartbroken for librarians in the city of Beaverton. As the Library Union president, Korst says he sat in the same room with 8 Beaverton librarians last week as city officials told them their jobs were unofficially on the chopping block, pending approval by city council.
It's gut-wrenching. This is people's livelihood. And librarians, it's a very niche job, and it's very hard to find jobs in that field. And this is something that people have worked a very long time for.
The pending cuts come as the city of Beaverton responds to what they call unprecedented funding challenges. They noted rising inflation and financial strains brought on by the pandemic. The result? A $10 million general fund shortfall and a $1 million library fund deficit. This week, the Budget Committee recommended cutting 18 library staff positions. That includes 2 part-time positions at the Beaverton City Library, 8 full and part-time positions at the Murray Shoals branch, and 1 vacancy. The city may also reduce hours at the Murray Shoals branch from 7 to 4 days a week.
I hate to see anyone lose their job, right? Because at the end of the day, they provide a service, and it's a service that the community uses. So.
John Payne says he uses the Murray Shoals branch about 3 times a week and lives less than a mile away. He says he'll feel the impact of reduced hours.
If you've got to go to the main branch, of course that's a fantastic facility, but at the same time it's nice having local access to a nice branch.
Another library guest told us he's indifferent to the reduced hours, happy to visit other branches, and says he won't notice staffing cuts.
They've got signs that say use the electronic checkout. You don't need a librarian anymore.
Korst feels much differently. He's hanging on to the city's words that these cuts are not yet a done deal, hoping that perhaps they can find a way to reduce the budget without reducing jobs.
Again, these are people, these are lives, these are stories. It was incredibly challenging to sit with these 8 librarians and hear the stories on how this is going to impact their lives.
Catherine Cook reporting. Well, the next Budget Committee meeting is scheduled for May 23rd. A public hearing and possible approval by City Council is slated for June 6th. City leaders tell us if the library cuts go through, guests should expect reduced hours to kick in late this summer or early fall. Well, still to come on Sunrise, food stamp holders are finally getting some protection from thieves. How Oregon's starting to make things right for those who had their benefits stolen right out from under them. And did you know you can watch Sunrise anytime you want? It's on KGW Plus. All of our news, in fact, is on Roku and Amazon Fire. Just look for KGW and add us to your home screen, and then you can stream Sunrise on your schedule.